Hello students, welcome back to the continuation session of supply of the fourth unit of microeconomics, the theory of firm under perfect competition. Stay attentive and follow. Kindly read the disclaimer and note that this video has been made for the ASC students of commerce. Go through the disclaimer. Let us quickly recap and understand what we have studied regarding supply so far. We learned the meaning of supply, the supply curve, market supply curve, short run supply curve, and the long run supply curve. In this session, we will continue and understand more about supply, the shutdown point, the normal profits, the supernormal profits, break-even point, determinants of supply, and the price elasticity of supply. Let me begin with the shutdown point. Now, the objective of all firms is to maximize profits. Profit is the source of growth for a firm. A firm needs to grow with respect to revenue, cash flow, earnings, higher returns on invested capital, sustainable increase in market value. Only then the firm can achieve attractive economic value added performance. It helps to increase its operations and expansions, diversifications, all depend on profits. This facilitates growth. But profits, which is the financial gain for any firm, is possible only when there is a gain between the amount earned and the amount spent in buying, operating, or producing something. In simple words, earnings must be more than cost. Now, if the price of the output is less than the cost, both AVC and MC, then the firm cannot survive. So, it will not produce. Therefore, there would be zero output. Normal profit and supernormal profit. Normal profit is a profit metric that takes into consideration both explicit and implicit costs. Normal profit occurs when the difference between a company's total revenue and explicit and implicit costs are equal to zero. When a company's total revenue is equal to the total costs in a perfectly competitive market, it is a situation where a firm makes sufficient revenue to cover its total costs, which is called as normal profit. Supernormal profits or abnormal profits, or even called as excess profit, is a condition when a firm incurs profits over and above what provides its owners with a normal return to capital. It is defined as an extra profit above the level of normal profits. This is an incentive for firms to enter into the industry. It is calculated as total revenue minus the total costs. The break-even point is the point at which the total cost and the total revenue are equal. This is a condition where the firm has no loss or gain. It is the sales amount in either unit quantity or revenue sales term that is required to cover the total costs consisting of both fixed and variable costs. The total profits at the break-even point is 0. The two important determinants of firm's supply curve, the technological progress and the price of the inputs, will bring about a shift in the supply curve. Technological progress may occur due to innovations. If the firm produces more units of output by using fewer units of inputs, this will reduce the firm's marginal cost at any level of output. So, the marginal cost curve will move left or right. The supply curve, being a part of the marginal cost curve, will also shift leftwards or rightwards. As the marginal cost moves right due to technological improvements, the firm supplies more units of production. So the supply curve also shifts rightwards. The second determinant of supply is the input price. The input price refers to the cost of raw materials, labor, interest on capital, etc. A change in the input prices will affect the firm's supply curve. If the price of an input increases, then the cost of production will increase. Likewise, if the price of the input prices decreases, then the cost of production also will decrease. The firm's average cost also rises along with the marginal cost. This again moves the supply curve either to the left or to the right, depending on whether the supply is being increased or decreased due to the movement in the input prices. Here is the graphical representation of the shift in the supply curve towards the left or towards the right. Look at the figures 1 and 2. When the determining factors like technological progress increases, the supply also increases. So the supply curve shifts rightwards. Look at figure 2, which represents the shift in the supply curve. Likewise, another factor that will affect the supply is the input prices. If the input prices increase, it will increase the cost of production of the output. So, the supply will decrease. Therefore, the supply curve shifts leftwards. Look at figure 1, which represents the leftward shift due to the decrease in the output. Another determinant of supply is the government's imposition of unit tax. The impact that the unit tax has on supply is that it will increase the cost. The government imposes tax on the output which is sold per unit production. This tax is the unit tax and it is imposed by the government on the sale of units. This tax increases the cost. Example, if a firm produces 100 units and it sells 100 units, and if the tax is 2 rupees per unit, then the firm should pay 200 rupees as tax. After the tax is imposed, the supply curve will shift to the left, as at any given market price, the firm supplies fewer units of output. The price elasticity of supply is a measure used to show the amount of responsiveness of the quantity of a good supplied to a change in its price. If supply is inelastic, then firms find it difficult to change production within a given time period. An elastic supply indicates a high amount of responsiveness to change in the price. Price elasticity of supply may be in 5 conditions, as perfectly inelastic supply, relatively inelastic supply, unitary elastic supply, relatively elastic supply, and perfectly elastic supply. Elastic supply means the product is considered sensitive to price changes. Inelastic supply means the product is not sensitive to price movements. Let us know how it is calculated. The price elasticity of supply is found as percentage change in the quantity supplied divided by the percentage change in price, for which we need to calculate the percentage change in the quantity supplied, which is found as the change in the quantity supplied by the original quantity supplied in its percentage. Likewise, the change in the price percentage is calculated as the change in the price by the original price as its percentage. Let us solve a numerical problem to understand how the price elasticity of supply is calculated. Read the problem. Suppose the market for cricket balls is a perfectly competitive market. When the price of a cricket ball is rupees 10, let us assume that 200 cricket balls are produced in aggregate by the firm. When the price of the cricket ball rises to rupees 30, then 1000 cricket balls are produced in aggregate by the firm. This is the problem. We will now see how we will solve it. Let's begin the solution. To simplify our understanding of the problem, we shall tabulate the information in the problem. So, we make 2 columns, one for quantity supplied and one for price. For price, we first enter the initial price and then the new price. Likewise, in the quantity supplied column, we first enter the initial quantity supplied and then the changed quantity supplied. So here we get the table. Kindly note, the initial price is 10 and then 30. The quantity of cricket balls produced, initial quantity is 200 and then 1000. This will help us to solve the problem easily. We proceed by writing the formula first and then, according to the given information, we substitute the values and find the price elasticity of supply. According to the formula, first we need to find the percentage change in the quantity supplied, for which we find the change in the quantity supplied as Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1 into 100, which is 1000 minus 200 by 200 into 100, which gives us 400. Likewise, we will find the percentage change in the price. The change in the price is P2 minus P1 by P1 into 100, which is 30 minus 10 by 10 into 100, which results in 200. So the price elasticity of supply is 400 divided by 200, which is 2. The price elasticity of supply for the cricket balls is 2. So here we come to the conclusion of the topic of supply. Let's recollect some key points. Quantity supplied moves in the same direction as its price. The supply curve is an upward moving curve. Producers are willing to increase production at higher prices to increase its profits. The supply curve plots the quantity that is willingly supplied at any given price. The individual supply curves are summed up by the quantity provided at specific prices to achieve an aggregate supply curve, which is the market supply curve. Supply curve will shift right or left based on the technological progress or price of inputs. I hope, students, you have noted down the key points and you have understood the concept of supply. In the next session, we will conclude it by discussing all the questions in the question bank.